Armenians, one of the world's oldest cultures, reveal their rich heritage through jokes like the one shared by our tour guide. When Adam and Eve arrived in paradise, they saw a bunch of Armenians having barbecue, and so they asked God, "Who are they?" And God replied, "I don't know, when I arrived they were already here." Cultural heritage, therefore, plays a huge role in this country. Today we will explore just that. We will visit gorgeous Lake Sevan, several monasteries in the Armenian mountains, where we will learn about the Christian history of the country, as well as the Switzerland of Armenia. Lake Sevan is the largest body of water in the Caucasus and one of the largest freshwater high-altitude lakes in the world. In fact, it lies at around 1900 meters above sea level. It has the nickname Jewel of Armenia, and it's not hard to see why. We will mainly explore the Goshavank monastery that is located on a peninsula that used to be an island, until water was drained from the lake during Stalin's era, which was catastrophic for animal life. Thanks as always, human-induced climate change. To get to the monastery and have the best views, we walk up a few flights of stairs, past souvenir stands and other tourists, before we can marvel at the lake and all its beauty. The views from up there are absolutely stunning, with the yellow flowers and the blue lake with the backdrop of Mount Ararat. First religious building on the site was built in the 4th century, until a monastery was founded in 874. Today, there are two octagonal churches that are very similar to each other. Let's visit the slightly larger Holy Apostles Church and see what it looks like from the inside. By the way, if you enjoy this video, please don't hesitate to leave a like and a subscription. I would absolutely appreciate that. Down the hill on the south shore of the peninsula is the Sevan Writer's House. That was featured in many architecture magazines because of its unique design of being based on only one pillar. It was designed by the Armenian architect Georg Kocha in the 1920s and was a retreat for writers from all over the country. After a quick drink at Starbucks, we're back on the bus for our next stop, Armenian Switzerland. Suddenly, after leaving a tunnel, the landscape changed drastically. We are now in the north of the country, more particularly in Dilijan, often referred to as the Armenian Switzerland. Dilijan describes both the town that we're going to visit, as well as the surrounding national park. This town is a very popular resort town in Armenia because of its location within the beautiful surroundings. It's home to many composers, filmmakers and artists who enjoy the tranquility and peacefulness of Armenian Switzerland. We'll start by exploring Sharimbayan Street, which is a well-maintained historical street with an art gallery, a museum and many souvenir shops, connecting the upper and lower part of the city, and is considered the old town of Dilijan. It's now time for a traditional Armenian lunch before we make our way to Goshavank. Next on our trip through the northeast of Armenia is Goshavank. This monastery was named after Mikita Gosh, an important figure in the Armenia of the 12th century, who helped rebuild this complex after it was destroyed in an earthquake in the same century. Gosh was an incredibly fascinating person, and one of these people that are good at almost everything. He was a scientist, a politician, a novelist, and he also wrote the country's first law code. In his view, the natural laws brought by religion and our surroundings are not sufficient to have a well-functioning society. Thus, laws written by the people are necessary, however should only complement natural laws. And by the standards of the 12th century, he was a lot ahead of his time. His law code was aiming for equality between men and women regarding the choice of who to marry or possession of land. He also argued for social equality, which would give more power to simple farmers. Discrimination due to religion was also not allowed. Now, if you tell that to any European during the Middle Ages, they would absolutely lose their minds over that. You know, Inquisition and stuff. The monastery, named after this impressive figure, lies on a beautiful hill overlooking the mountain range that is called Armenian Switzerland and gives us an incredible view. For our final stop, we are driving deep into Dilijan National Park, to a hidden monastery called Haghartsin. As it is fitting for such a mysterious place that literally translates to Monastery of the Soaring Eagle, it suddenly started to rain, which added a lot to the vibe of an ancient monastery deep in the Caucasian forest. The first structures at this location were built over 1000 years ago, in the 10th century, but just like many other monasteries in Armenia, fully built in the 13th century. The walls of this monastery are slightly inverted rather than straight, a design choice made as a precaution against the frequent earthquakes in the Caucasus region, which have historically caused significant damage. Armenia became a Christian country in 301 AD and was therefore the first Christian country in the entire world. Gregory the Illuminator, who I mentioned in my previous video, baptized King Tiridates III. Gregory had been imprisoned for his faith, but still prayed for Tiridates' health when the king fell ill. Because Tiridates believed that his improved health was due to these prayers, he accepted the Christian faith and declared it the state's religion. After 2 days of exploring the incredible nature of the country, it's now time to return back to Yerevan, from where we will visit our next country, Georgia. Make sure you subscribe to not miss these videos, and if you want to check out my previous videos on Armenia, you can click on them here. See you next time.